Yeah, this guy is yeah.
Hold on, let me.
Is a funny guy. Do you know what? I feel like I'm a little bit rusty. Not rusty, but I feel like I've been out of action for too long. No, honestly, it's been a while. We used to shoot like every week.
Okay.
Now it's every like 2 months. Yeah, it is. Why does it feel like that though? It feels like it's. Oh yeah, yeah, we had 2 people that cancelled.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had someone that cancelled on my show.
Oh, now we had how many people cancelled on us? Quite a few. Overall. You think more than 10? No, I don't think so. I think we shot. So how many are out? We 95, 96 are out.
Of the whole thing.
No, the whole thing. I don't think we had 10.
But
We
how
had
long
probably
have
like
you been doing this for?
like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 years. I think it's time we give up though.
No,
it's time to
don't
quit.
give up. No,
It's time to quit.
not.
Just on that, actually, I've got a question on that, yeah. But just before we do that, let us do some introductions real quick.
Okay.
Obviously, people on Beyond the Surface already know who I am. My name's Leo. If you don't know who I am, this is the first time you're meeting me online. Nice to meet you. I hope you enjoy the show. Then we've got another host today. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Costa. I work with Beyond the Surface as well, but this is my first time basically just co-hosting with Leo. On this, yeah.
Come on, man. He busts host virginity. But, yeah. That's what I was saying. But why do people take things in a negative way a lot of the times? But yeah, and then we've got an amazing individual here today.
Yeah, so I'm Aridja is my name. I'm also known as Aridja Kals online. Kals is an abbreviation of my surname. And I'm a podcaster, I'm a content creator, I'm a speaker, and I love all things mindset. That's like my spare time. You'll find me learning a lot about mindset, how the mind works and things of that nature. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Can I ask you a question? Do you always have like high levels of energy? Because it's incredible. No, honestly, no, it's incredible. Because I'm like, because you know, if you have that all the time, or do you have your down times where like you're kind of like, you know what?
Yeah, I do get peed off sometimes. I don't want to talk to anyone right now. But majority of the time, I not necessarily force myself, but I'm inclined to feeling good only because I know the power behind that. I feel like if you do feel good, you tend to attract more things that help you feel good and sustain that energy, and therefore attract opportunities, people, circumstances that give you the results that you want in life. So for me, I intentionally seek to feel good, and part of that is just being energized. But also it's part of my nature as well. I'm quite innately a fun, go-getter.
What is good? What does it consist of? Like feeling good. What does it mean?
For me, means
how do you get into that point?
I think it means it's seeing the glass as half full. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like just your perception and your perspective. What?
Nothing. I feel like I'm back in school. I'm just raising my hand, just trying out some new stuff. But yeah, I got something on that after.
All right, cool. Yeah, so it's just like your perspective on things, isn't it? Like, because I feel like nothing in this world holds meaning in a sense. I think it's more so the meaning that you give to it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So there could be a certain bad situation, but it's not necessarily bad, is it? It's your perspective on it that makes it bad. Do you know what I mean? So it's just the way that you look at the world, the way that you view yourself, and yeah, because currently my circumstances, if I told you, I don't really want to be open about it because it involves my family in a sense, but my circumstances at the moment, anyone would think, why aren't you upset? Why are you so jolly? But I tend to see my opportunities more than I do the failures that are going on in my life, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the mindset then?
It's all mindset.
Okay.
Yes, I sit in mine 100%. Do you know why I raised my hand? Yeah, hello. But yeah, do you know why? It's because actually I live by I think everyone misses the point. The glass is not half full and it's not half empty. I think it's refillable, and I think that's how I live my life. It's like it's not half full, it's not empty, it's refillable. We can always refill the glass, and we decide what we do with it. And it's kind of going back to the same point that you made, and I think it's a beautiful point. I understand if we're speaking the same language around life is just life in itself. But we are the holders of the meaning for what life is, hence why it can be so many different things to so many different people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like we all hold the pen to our story as well. Like you said, everything is interchangeable. Like you can change your circumstances. People think they're stuck, but you're not a tree, are you? Like you can move, you can change stuff. And sometimes it will ask for some sacrifice, but that's not to say that it can't be changed, you know? So I've personally come a long way. If I told you my story, which I will get into if you don't mind real soon, but I've come a very long way. I could have been a statistic, just like a lot of people listening, but I chose to change the story, and now I'm here today. So yeah.
I love that. I think so. One of the things we kind of, well, I take responsibility for it, not we. I don't speak French, but I kind of like sort of like maybe not grown out of, but like we kind of left the original beyond the surface questions for a little bit. But I think it's time we bring it back. And the first question is, where do you get your feeling of importance?
Where do I get my feeling of importance?
Yeah.
I would say God.
Mm.
The weird thing is I'm not like your typical Christian, like, but I'd say God. And even you could say the universe, but I just say a higher power, the source within me, because I truly believe that God lives within me and he works within me. So I'm a part of God. I am a branch of God.
How do you know it's a he?
Do you know what? Some people say God's a woman because obviously that's a bit controversial, but because women create, right? We create life and God is a creator. So some people even say that. But I don't know if God's a woman or a man. I just say God is, I don't think God is either.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it might even be. Yeah, it might
It's
even
probably
be
like
evil.
conscience.
No, but
isn't
I
it?
always pay attention to when
Consciousness.
someone says he, she, or I'm just like, that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But yeah, my sense of importance definitely stems from God. Because I don't know, I just feel like without God, I know it sounds cliche once again, but without God, I wouldn't be here. And so that gives me significance and importance that I'm meant to be here. There's a reason why I'm here, you're here, and we're all here. So, and I think that stems from the one above, or the one within, should I say.
And what's the one thing that people should know about you?
The one thing that people should know about me is I will never, ever let anyone not at least try. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're around me, if you're my friend, if you're my acquaintance, best believe that thing that you left dormant, I'm going to tell you to go back onto it and keep going. Like, you made a little joke in the beginning saying it's time for us to quit this podcast. And I was like, no, you're not quitting, because like, I don't believe in that word. Like, I believe in just consistency, having a vision, because without a vision, you perish. So having a vision and going for it and not stopping until you get it. So if you're around me, that's what you should expect.
Yeah, you're so important for people. So if anyone's ever feeling like they want to quit, just hit Aridja up on Instagram and just say, Aridja, I'm about to quit. And then trust me, Aridja will put in a headlock and say, you can't quit. But yeah. Well, no, trust me, I'm telling you.
I'm done.
Now, obviously, I was joking earlier. I don't think, yeah, I don't want to get into it, but yeah, we've had a different like metrics of what this means to us, or what success looks like, and to our metrics, like we're already successful. So
It's really important how you see it, right? Because if you start hearing about the metrics of other people who are not even involved, or what's going on and how you do what you do, then you might start feeling away. But it's all about your view, like you said, it's you within you and how you see the world. They don't see it. They don't see the work that goes behind. So yeah.
yeah, I guess to some extent, sometimes people might be creating content for. When I use the word minorities, I'm not talking about actual what the definition of minorities are now, like in the UK or London in general. But people are creating content for minorities in context of communities who are maybe not. I think sometimes the language that we speak and the things that we want to do in the world is like not relatable to everyone else, or they're not there yet, or sometimes it might get there like when they're 40, 50, 60, or maybe never. Because I realize like some of the conversations I have in real life, some people are not ready for, or they're not there yet. And so I feel like with this, like we just have a lot of different conversations that are like kind of similar page.
Yeah, like with a similar-minded individuals, basically. That that you can talk. Or sometimes I think they say about freedom of speech, but is it really? Or are we putting constraints on our own selves?
There's a lot of, I feel like freedom of speech, I think it's a myth now. Because like, obviously there's this fear of, I don't know if cancel culture is still going on, but there's this fear of that. And there's a fear of, what are people going to think of me? Is my opinion even valid? Is my opinion hate speech now? All sorts of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, someone I value a lot, someone I value highly, has shared a really good solution on the whole like freedom of speech being taken away. I'm not going to share on camera. There's a reason for that. I don't want to share his things online, but I'll tell you off camera afterwards. It's really, really cool.
I think, yeah.
No, go on. I was gonna say something.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because you said you're Christian and you believe. So I wanted to ask you, because you said about sacrifice, right? So I wanted to ask you, because I kind of linked this thing of prayer and sacrifice and what you put in any other situation. I think it's the same sort of concept. So I'm gonna break down what I mean. So there's a elder in in Christianity, in Greek Orthodox, that's been that says that he was praying, right? And when he was praying, he was saying, listen, if somebody's got like cancer, for example, you say you pray and you say, listen, I'll take half of it. So that's self-sacrifice. So I think it's a sort of like a general idea that goes into a lot of different things. So I just wanted to take your take on that.
What, so like my perception on what sacrifice means to me, or
Yeah, what sacrifice is.
yeah, definitely. Like I feel like, I don't know, when it comes to sacrifice, for me it's not, there's a lot of connotations that come behind that it's like some gruesome, hardcore, very detrimental thing, and I don't think that's the case. I feel like sacrifice is just saying no now for a better tomorrow. So for example, I'm gonna give this up because it's gonna be for my betterment, for a better tomorrow. So for example, I'm gonna give up that chocolate bar, or I'm gonna give up that sweet so that I can have a healthier future. Or for me, in my case, I quit my job, right? I quit my job to fully delve into content creation, podcasting, public speaking, and things of that nature. So that was a big sacrifice, because where's the money gonna come, you know? But I'm not gonna lie, disclaimer, I still do live at home. So I do have that backup. But for me still, like just my day-to-day lifestyle, like I couldn't really, you know, navigate that without the financial help. But I said, you know, this is going to be a better tomorrow, because if I stay at this job, then I'm going to be stuck and I'm probably not going to get as far as I want to get to. And so putting that aside and really focusing has only opened up the doors for opportunities for me. Like I've been interviewed by the BBC 3 times. I've been in conversation with Young Philly. I've been sponsored twice, you know, just different kind of things have happened after that sacrifice. And I think that's what it means, is saying no for now for a better tomorrow.
So that you don't regret.
That as well. I cannot live with regret, because I've got this burning desire, because I'll take it back, right? When I was 11 years old, I wrote a book inspired by Jacqueline Wilson with my cousin. My teacher read out a story that I created when I was in year 4. I did drama, I had standing ovations. I've always been inclined to performing of some sort. Not necessarily performing, but like putting my creativity out there, right? And for me, going into a job, for me personally, it was just leaving all my dreams dormant and just closing the door to everything that I really, really wanted to do, right? So I thought, I need to quit this, because if I stay in this job, then by next year, I'm still going to be in the same place and miserable and clock watching all the time. And then I sort of sacrificed that and delved into what I'm doing now. And now, like I said, I've just got so many opportunities coming out of it. And most importantly, like you said, there's no regret, because I know that it's not necessarily the destination that I'm after, but it's the journey. And the fact that I'm on the journey and I'm trying my best, I'm sorry, but if I was to go now, I'll be like, listen, I did everything I could do to get myself to where I want to be and to impact people in the process. So therefore I've lived a fulfilled life, you know? And I think that's what the feeling of success is, fulfillment in what you're doing, in who you have become and what you have. So yeah.
No, 100%. Aladdin's been on a mission to get me to stop going out for a while. And one time he sent me a video. I was like, oh, watch this video. And one of the quotes in that video was, going out is like borrowing happiness from tomorrow. Yeah, I was like, that's interesting. You know what, Aladdin? That's the first time you sent me something that actually had an impact on my life. Yeah. So I appreciate that. But yeah, 100%. I think you said the journey is what matters, and I think 100% I agree with that. And I think for me, like how I looked at it a little while back, and I think obviously there's a whole conversation around habits. But there's a saying of like, we don't decide our future, we decide our habits, and habits will decide the future for us. So anything that we do, and I think a lot of people don't look into the daily schedule enough. You know, I'm not saying either, you know, work on these things constantly, but work on them. But it's how we structure our day and what we do in the day by day, is what is going to shape where we're going to get to.
100%.
Sometimes people look at these small things and go, oh, it's just a little thing, or just a little this or whatever, not understanding actually those small little things is what's going to have significant impact in our future.
Have you read the book Atomic Habits by James
Yes,
Clear?
I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah. It's a great book.
Compounding, innit?
Yeah, compounding.
That's what it's
yeah.
about.
That's actually what made me change my routine in the gym. Like I started training differently, because I used to look at this thing like, I need to go to the gym and just do something crazy. Then it's to be out for like 1 or 2 days, because I've done it overboard, where I started doing, I might run for like 20 minutes. Then every week I add like another minute. Or then maybe I just do an extra pull-up every week. And it's just what it is. I'm still doing what I was doing before, but then also gaining extra and just get in there. Do you know what? He said something funny at one point. He said, you're not a typical Christian. What's a typical Christian?
That's a good question.
Because I'm trying to understand. Hey, listen, I asked you before. I said, "Is there anything we can't talk about today?" He said, "No, I'm an open book. So let's talk about. Let's get you cancelled. Yeah, let's get you cancelled. What's a typical Christian?"
I feel like how I grew up in the church. It was more so when you pray, you're constantly asking / begging God for a result. Whereas now my perspective on that is, God, you've given me this. I'm going to accept that you've given me this, and therefore I'm going to thank you that you've given me this.
Nice.
So instead of asking and begging all the time, maybe I ask once, but after that I accept and I receive and I say thank you. And I go my life with an attitude of gratitude, saying thank you for the small things that I have. So therefore I'm attracting more things. Because obviously I feel like God will reward those who are grateful and appreciative of what they have, right? Then you get more. It's like having a child that you got 2 children, you give one a toy and you give the other one a toy. One of them is ungrateful and throws the toy away and says, you never give me what I really want. And then there's another kid, the other child, should I say, that is really appreciative and loving and sharing of that thing, that gift that you've given them. Who are you as a parent going to want to give more to?
But it's that thing of glass full, glass half empty. And I go back to the thing. I think there's also a third child that's creating his own toy or her own toy.
Okay.
Yeah, that no one talks about. Or the parent is teaching them how to create their own toy.
But yeah, you get my gist though. Obviously,
I get it.
You love the children all the same, but it's just like you'll be more inclined to give to the person that's more appreciative. And so that's my perspective with God. Like, just be grateful, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think the way we show up, in the world is how people gonna, if someone's showing up in a negative way or someone's showing up in a positive way, people going to want to be around the person that's showing up in a more positive way rather than someone that's being negative.
Exactly.
100%.
And I can elaborate if you want.
Yeah, like yeah. You don't have to say it. Just
Okay.
talk. Just talk.
So I'm used to like that interviewing type.
Nah, but listen. Nah, but we're just here to have a conversation, and we might, of course, we'll ask you questions and whatnot. But then you can ask us questions. You can elaborate. This is just open 100%. Conversation. This is not an interview. Just to be clear, it might look like an interview. It might seem like an interview, but
I'm
it's
so
not.
used to that. But yeah. So I also believe like the law of attraction. I don't know if you've heard of that universal law. So it's similar. Well, it's not similar. It's senior to gravity, actually. So gravity states that whether you're a good person or bad person, if you jump off a high-rise building, what's going to happen? You'll fall straight to the ground, right? And in the same way, the law of attraction states that like attracts like. So on a level of thoughts and feeling. So whatever you're thinking subconsciously, continuously, and whatever you're feeling with emotion that accompanies that thought is exactly the reality that you get in your 3D world, right? So it's the exact people that you're going to attract, the exact circumstances, situations, scenarios that you're going to get into, right? So yeah, I truly believe in that. So it's like, I am a Christian, but I also believe that there are laws that God has set for us that we need to abide by, no matter how we look, no matter who we are, we abide by these laws. And it's like, you need to know how to use these laws to your advantage. So if you're going to think and feel negatively majority of the time, best believe that's the direction and the trajectory that your life is going to go at. Whereas if you think and feel positive majority of the time, and I know it's like, it sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's the complete truth because it's a universal law. But if you think and feel positive the most of the time, then you're going to get positive results. It's just how it works. So hence the reason why you asked me, why am I so upbeat? I'm trying to attract positive things, We're not trying to, that's just my outlook.
Do you think so? Do you think that these things are not being taught, when you sort of learn to be a Christian?
Definitely not. That's the reason why I'm saying I'm not your traditional Christian, because we miss out a lot on science and the universal laws. When it comes to religion, we like to, it's like oil and water. We like to differentiate Christianity and religion. And okay, I don't even like saying religion because I'm not religious. I'm just a person in faith. But Christianity and science. But to be honest, they are intertwined, because even the Bible states that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And then science shows the realities of affirmations and how they actually work, So it's like they are all emerged, but it's just like the church likes to separate the two. And sometimes science also likes to separate the two, but I feel like they all work together. God works with laws, and it's just how it is.
I think after having like loads of conversations with people, I think I've come to the conclusion that everyone talks about the same thing, but just explains in a different way. Or there's a different
100%,
explanation.
because
Just
it's the same thing.
exactly. But I think sometimes it's the explanations of the same thing that gives other people more relatability, or just give them like a little light bulb moment to go, oh my God, actually that's what it is. That's what it's been the
have you
whole
realised
time.
that sometimes when you hear something from a specific person, it doesn't quite hit. But when you hear it from someone else, it's like, wow, light bulb moment, like you're saying. Maybe because you look at that person, you feel like you can relate to them because of how they look or where they're from or something. But it's more so it hits more depending on the person that's saying it. But overall, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but I guess for me, it just extends a bit more. So it's on the person that's saying it, but I think more so for me in the future became like on how they're saying it or how they're articulating it rather than just the person. But you know what? Just going back on the law of attraction, I slightly disagree with it to some extent, and that's because like, so I've got youth work background and I've worked with a lot of young people who's not necessarily attracted to services. There's no way in the world they attracted particular things through law of attraction, but some horrible things happen to some of the young people. So I think to some extent, I agree with it. I think it's something that works, but there will be people who might, how can I describe this? There might be evildoers or people that do wrong or people that do negative things that we're not part of the law of attraction.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I guess
people that will go out of the way to do something that isn't, you can tell the young person would have never wanted that in the life.
Yeah.
But
I guess personally, I don't have answers for everything and like why certain circumstances, situations happen to certain people. But I don't know, like there's certain things that you just can't pinpoint.
Yeah. By the way, if you've got any questions, just jump in.
I think I just want to delve a little bit into mindset, to be honest. So I'm thinking, because we're talking about sort of law of attraction, and I'm thinking confidence. So what would you say are the like building blocks of confidence?
That's a good question. I think with confidence, I think it stems from a lot, right? Because like, okay, let me make this clear. Like, there's two sides of your brain, right? There's the conscious mind and there's a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is essentially your awareness, how you navigate the world, your five senses, right? See, hear, touch, smell, taste, the five senses. And then you have your subconscious mind. So let me make it clear. The conscious mind is only responsible for 5% of your habits and your results, whereas your subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your habits and your results. And it's like a sponge, right? Everything that you soaked up as a child, everything that you soaked up growing up is embedded in your subconscious mind. So if you were told that money doesn't grow on trees, or you're not good enough, or you're not confident enough, or you're shy, or you're timid, or you're all these kind of things, then it's going to result to the habits and the actions that you take now, right? So I feel like it's a deeper level than just, okay, I want to switch on confidence. I feel like however you were embedded and programmed as a child growing up, that sort of creates the reality that you live in now. So for example, if you were told a lot of the times that you're timid and that you're, you're a shy person, or you're not able, you're not capable, you're not deserving, then that's going to make you who you are now. So that's why a lot of people, they probably suffer from issues with confidence right now in this age. But I don't know, I feel like it can all be changed. And I feel like with having it change, you just need to align your subconscious mind to what you want. So if it is confidence that you want, then align it. So how do you do this? Subconscious mind loves repetition, repetition. So maybe a repetition of affirmations, or repetition of visualization, visualizing yourself and envisioning yourself as that confident person. And I know it sounds woo-woo, but it really does work, because every time I visualize something, it literally comes to pass. It's just science, it's how it works. So affirmations, visualizations, what else? I don't know, anything that can just be repeated, a positive affirmation that can be repeated to change, how you look at yourself and life and how you navigate it confidently, really. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense, because I've sort of read about this stuff. I wanted to take your take on it, because as you said, there's conscious and subconscious, and subconscious is like I think like an automatic machine. Where
it's your program, it's your paradigm.
How you react sometimes. You say I'll walk in a room and I'll look confident, and suddenly you go in there and there's a subconscious mind is like, hey buddy, we're not that person,
Yeah. But that's why you need to repeat that you are. You need to repeat and visualize yourself as being so, and also take inspired action as well. Put yourself in those circumstances and situations, in those networking rooms. And whether you feel uncomfortable or not, the only way you're going to beat it is by actually doing it, and repeatedly doing it,
So
but it takes time.
you're talking about basically feeding yourself positive stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask about the other side of it, of stop about how you go about stop feeding yourself negative stuff, where it's like you watch, you read, whatever you take in.
Then it's about counteracting it with the positive and less of the negative. So if you know, okay, it starts with awareness, right? You need to be firstly aware that what am I watching? What am I consuming? Who are the people that I'm hanging around? Is it serving me? Do an audit. If it's not serving you, then okay, what can I do to be different? Fair enough, you might not know the right people to hang around, but read books then. A lot of authors put a lot of knowledge and a lot of positive knowledge in their books. Read that, consume that instead. Careful with the music that you're listening to, because those are affirmations as well. Careful with the people that you're listening to in your ear, because those are affirmations. Like, surround yourself with, like, you know, more positive things, and then the negative will sort of dilute itself. Yeah.
I'm going. I love it. I'm going with it. Do you know what? So just a couple of things to unpack there. Yeah. The first thing, like, good example would be like if I go to a meeting and then let's say the meeting didn't go well, maybe I didn't perform well, and then walk out, I'm a fucking idiot or whatever. Instead of saying that, I could have been like, that was a great opportunity for me to learn myself.
Exactly.
So it's you know what it is, yeah, because you go gym as well. It's almost like a gym thing. So it's like the more we do it or the more we practice it, the better it becomes. But there's also this thing. So what you spoke about, there's actual model within like sort of like behavior learning thing, or like just any person development stuff. There's a model for it basically. So there's like, you got like a big box, and obviously it's divided into 4 different boxes. But all the different boxes are conscious competence, unconscious competence, unconscious incompetence, and unconscious whatever. Doesn't matter which way it goes, but it's all connected. But essentially, so we're talking about what happens sometimes. Like, I don't know, I might go to a meeting or a different kind of meeting for the first time, and then I become consciously incompetent in that meeting. I go, oh my God, there's so much I don't know. There's so much you still need to learn. Another like maybe technical example would be, let's say another form of driving. I sit in a car for the first time and someone goes, drive the car. Then I become consciously incompetent. But before that, I was unconsciously incompetent, but I was not competent at this particular thing. Yeah. Then what happens at that process, I'm consciously incompetent now. I became aware of that thing. You said awareness is the key. Then I have a choice. Do I keep this as my sort of like conscious incompetence or unconscious incompetence? Do I just park it there, or do I work on it? Then by working on it, I become consciously competent of this thing. So now I know I can do it. I've been taking driving lessons. I've been driving for 6 months, to the point where I get so good at it, it becomes unconsciously competent.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like there's all these like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of like a journey, but it's a beautiful thing
as well, isn't it? What choice are you going to make?
It's intent,
exactly.
Like
intention.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We become aware of all of these things.
Yeah.
What really struck me when I read it and it made sense was, and I think that's with the subconscious as well, is stuttering. How you're talking, and suddenly, without you even feeling it, your mind is saying something, you start slurring your words, or like not being able to speak. Sometimes you don't even feel that you're not confident, or you don't want to say something. You just start stuttering, like I just did.
Yeah. I get that sometimes as well. Like, even as a speaker, like sometimes I like double down on my words, and I'm like, oh, I get all nervous and stuff, but it's just still putting myself out there, still going with it, still believing in myself, still focusing on the positives rather than negatives, and just keep going. That's the only way you're going to beat it. And then visualizing yourself as if you're there already, and you will get there.
100%. People that quit, they never make it anyway. So whatever making it means, they might make it in other areas of life or whatever. It just depends on what they want to do. But listen, let's talk about you going missing. I think it might be a really interesting, powerful story for our audience to hear. If you wanna.
That's fine. So I went missing in 2016 for 5 days, and it all started when I got into the wrong crowd. So I finished university. I was promised the world, as we all are. Tried to search for media roles and things of that nature, journalism roles, but it just wasn't happening for me because I studied journalism and media. And then I met this guy, and he got me into recreational drugs. Well, I don't say he got me into it because it was my choice. I chose to take it.
But it could have been an influence in that.
Because I was in that environment. So therefore, I was more susceptible.
And especially, so when you said you met a guy, like, is that someone you was dating? Someone that you...
Yeah, it's weird. You could say I was dating, but I'm going to be real honest. At the moment, at that time, I was such in a bad state of mind that I was just on a thing of just using guys for pleasure.
That's
and
lit.
That's lit.
That's lit. No, I'm joking.
I'm just being open and honest. I was in a mindset of just using guys for pleasure and maybe drugs and things like that, and just getting my mind off of the pain of not being where I want to be. So I don't know, you can classify it a dating if you want, but so I got into that, and then I remember him turning around to me one time when I was annoying him, and he said, I don't care if you go missing, are on the news, or if you die. And it's so strange because the same things happened except from the last bit. I'm still here by God's grace, you know. I remember leaving his house and I was feeling overwhelmed and just shooken, like just shaken and hallucinating, seeing things, hearing things and things of that nature, until I got home. And then my mum saw that there's something wrong with my daughter, should I say. And she took me to the doctor's office, and the doctor looked at me and said, I'm sorry, but you've got bipolar disorder. So I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder early 2016. And looking back now, I remember my online coach now says, whoever has the most certainty wins. And at that time, the doctor had the most certainty. And so I believed it. And so it became my reality. And then I remember going home with my mum. My mum was distraught. But then I told her, but by this time, by the way, I was manic. I was completely manic. Even in the doctor's office, I was like high. I can jump off a building and survive. I was superwoman. Because, you know, with bipolar, in one end of the spectrum, you're very much manic and high. And then the other end of the spectrum, you're very much low and depressed and you want to end it.
But you're on drugs at that time as well? As in like...
you could say the cannabis was still in my system, yeah. So it didn't help. You know, I was high from that and high from bipolar as well. Which is weird that you're saying that, because I've just realised that now it's true. I probably was high from both.
Yeah, because that was probably having an effect as well. But
yeah, definitely. And I remember walking out of my house and I walked along the street and not knowing, because I told my mum I was going to the shops. I don't know what I wanted, but I walked out on the streets and then I saw that there was this man. I remember he was wearing yellow shorts and a T-shirt, and he had his bike, and he sort of brushed me along to come with him. And it was strange because I'm sure that he knew that this girl wasn't in the right state of mind. And we walked through this alleyway bit, and it was into like a park. And I haven't really said this out loud, but I will say it because it's like I need to move on from this trauma. It's very hard, but I think I was RAPE'd. I don't really want to say the whole word. It's hard for me to say it. But I think I was. But the thing is, I was consciously there, but consciously not at the same time, because I was completely manic. I didn't really understand what was happening. And then I remember walking to the other side of the park, and there were people there. There were family and children and stuff. So I'm sure people were watching and thinking, what is going on in this daytime, in the springtime, daytime, right? And then I walked to the other end of the park, and then I remember pulling my trousers down and waggling my legs up and literally half naked. And there was the guys in the basketball court that looked at me and was like, is she all right? Like, what is she doing? And then all of a sudden, these two men took me by the arm, and they were police officers. And I'm sure someone called the police thinking there's something up with this girl. She's just doing a madness in the park at the moment. And then I got into a truck. They put me in the police truck. And obviously I wasn't aware what was really going on. I kind of knew there were police because I saw the uniform. But at the same time, I was in my own world. And then I got into the truck. And then I remember going very manic at that point when they opened the truck, thinking, why are these two men here? Like, just going ballistic. And then I went into this weird place, and it was a hospital. It was a mental health hospital. Night came, morning came, night came.
So they sectioned you.
Basically, I was sectioned, and I was seeing stuff that weren't there, hearing stuff that weren't there, hallucinating, illusions. They couldn't even give me anything to eat. I would throw it away because at the time, you're not hungry. You don't have an appetite because your mind is elsewhere. Because remember, your mind is connected to everything in your body. But for me, my mind was elsewhere. Yeah. And then it came to the 5th day now. My family didn't know where I was. My friends didn't know where I was. They were giving out flyers. My family friend took it to Twitter. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Stormzy retweeted it. Eddie Caddy retweeted it. And a couple of other celebrities. But it was going viral on Twitter. Where is this girl? You know, we're missing her. My mum was like, I just want my best friend back. You know, like everyone was so worried. People were thinking, this is not like Aridja. She's not a statistic. She's not like, she doesn't go missing. You know, we don't have this in our family. Like, this is so new to us. But then they didn't know I was in the hospital, and then I got my phone back, and then I contacted my church leader, my church pastor, and he contacted my mum, or the police or something, and then they contacted my mum, and then they came rushing down the hospital to see me. And then they realised that, look, our sister, our daughter, she's still not in the right state of mind because she's looking at us weird, she's talking to herself, she needs to stay here for a bit longer. So they told everyone, look, she's been found. The Enfield Independent took it up and said, look, she's been found. Other local newspapers, she's been found. But I wasn't found, was I? Because I still lost the sense of myself.
Lost, yeah. Because what does being found mean when you're still lost? Yeah.
Exactly. And then after that, I was in and out of hospital, going back to the same guys, going back to the same drugs, not listening. Because you know, sometimes when your subconscious is wired a particular way, it's used to habit, and that was my habit. Until my mum sat me down and was like, Aridja, listen, basically gave me an ultimatum. It's either you choose to stay on this path with these guys and drugs and all the things that you're doing, or you can choose a better life for yourself. And I obviously chose the latter. I took up a job. I went into employment. I stopped the drugs. I stopped the hanging around with the wrong crowd. And then I realized that this job that I'm in, yes, it's good because it saved me in a way, but it's not giving me fulfillment. What is going to give me fulfillment? And that was podcasting, speaking to people, being a speaker. So I quit that, and now I'm here. So
no, that's a powerful story. I think you know what's really interesting is said that you made a choice at one point, because I think a lot of people to this day, you know, a lot of people that would have been in your situation and that were in your situation, they would deny that they had a choice. They would deny the responsibility and the ability to choose in that situation, even though as difficult as it is. But you know what's really interesting? Well, it's not the word interesting isn't the right word, but there's also a lot of people who have been in your situation and never actually made it out to the other side like you did.
100%.
So yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing, and just to be able to spread that message, just to let people know that look, you can come out particular situation regardless of how difficult it is. I think
100%. And I feel like that's what I'm an advocate for now. I'm an advocate for mental health because I know, let me not get emotional, but I know how it feels being like wanting to end it. And I know that feeling, but it's like you can come out. There is always a silver lining. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Like depression might last for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, however long. But trust me, there is a time when you come out and there's better days. That's what people need to understand. And also you hold the pen to your story as well.
Yeah.
You know, that you can change things. So if it helps to script and to write things down, write the life that you want, or visualize the life that you want, or affirm yourself with the life that you want, you know, indulge yourself into positive things, whether it's music that you like. I know it's hard, it's tough, because when you're in that state, it seems like nothing can help. But if you dwell upon, because I remember when I was depressed, I was watching a lot of people that were also depressed on YouTube, and that wasn't helping. That was just putting me into that cycle. But when I shifted my narrative and got into mindset work and things of that nature, then slowly but surely the compound effect shown itself. And I was eventually able to rewrite the script, and now I'm doing great things. So.
You did, I think, in my opinion, like you did the right work. I think you did work on yourself rather than looking at external things. You said, like, look, what can I do internally? How can I change my mindset? How can I change myself? And I think that's where the real change happens. Not if you get this job or if you get that thing, but we have to do the work on ourselves.
Exactly.
And that's important.
Exactly. And I feel like I just want to reiterate that, like you said, the decision. I feel like people underestimate how much power there is in a decision, whether that's saying yes or no, but making a decision will completely open up doors and change your life. You might not know the how, you might not know how it's going to end up for you, how you're going to get from A to B, but making that decision that I'm going to lose weight, or that decision that I'm going to chase my dreams, or that decision that I'm getting out of depression, making that decision will completely transform your life.
I love that.
Yeah. Sorry, it went a bit deep.
No,
Listen, I have to have these conversations all the time.
This is this is you went into depression and in the topic, and this is something I wanted to touch on, but because I'm guessing you've worked with people that have been in that sort of state.
I haven't necessarily worked with people, but I've spoken on stages where people have come up to me and said, look, I wish my brother came because he's suffering from depression and you really helped with this story and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. I hear that. I'm just thinking, like, what would, because you said you've been there, and I think a lot of people have been in some sort of form you know, especially in places where sometimes you're surrounded by people, but you still feel like you're by yourself, you know, all that kind of stuff. And as you said, it's also about what you feed yourself. You stop watching the people talking about depression, because I mean, what's your take on therapy?
Therapy.
And I'm asking this because it's like it's like we said, it's like there's certain people like it's good to sort of talk about it and unpack something like depression, but talking about it
Yeah.
sometimes becomes a bit too much. But sorry, I'm
Yeah. No,
actually-
for me personally, I've never really, well, I have had therapy actually through the NHS. And I realized that, like you said, talking about it is good to gain awareness. But after a while, just talking about it and talking about it and like, it's just creating a hole. Like, it's just digging a deeper hole. And I feel like a lot of the times now it's like, okay, what's the shift then? What are we going to do differently? What's the positive outlook? What's the actions, the inspired actions that we're going to take to change things now? Let's focus on the positive rather than negative. It's good to be aware of the negative, to be aware of where you are and where you started, so that you have an awareness of it and you know where to go now. But now let's focus on where we're going.
I think, do you know what it is? I'm a fan of therapy, so I do promote therapy. I think people should do it. But I think there's the one element of like, I think people that know they're already, like, what they need to do already to like turn their life around or to make particular changes, I think those are the people that don't need therapy. I think if they already know what they need to do, and then they do therapy, just reaffirms what they have to do.
Yeah,
And
I think it's a good starting
what,
point.
What is the point of me doing therapy when I already know what I have to do? Because they're finding out the same answers that they already had.
Yeah, I think it's a
that
good
point.
starting point though for everyone. I think it's a good starting point because it's like, you need to, like I said, awareness. Like, you need to know, you know, what it is that you need to do, and sometimes you just need someone to guide you through, like, whether it's like shadow work or whether it's looking into your childhood, or because you can be like, for example, I seem like I've got it all put together, but there's certain things that I couldn't say within my story because it's still something that is in my heart that I haven't actually unlocked yet. So maybe a therapist can help me with that. So I think everyone's got their place and therapy's got its place, but it's just about focus. Where is your focus? You know, it's just about focusing on the positive, I think. I'm sorry, that's the kind of person I am.
No, I like that.
I'm very much optimistic.
Yeah, I have to say, that's just
Yeah.
so funny and stuff.
I mean, people, sorry, therapists do give you these sort of keywords and everything, because you might have just thought by yourself, you're unpacking everything your childhood, but they give you these, you said, these guidance exercises. And I think what I've noticed is that when you talk to people, even the people that are around you, the close ones to you, we're humans, you know, human nature is human nature. We like to turn it back on ourselves and talk about ourselves. So I think these people are just trained to listen to you and talk back and not really talk about themselves. I don't know if you've had, like, maybe you've talking to like a relative and you tell them your story and then suddenly they start talking about themselves.
Yeah.
And that might start pissing you off
Yeah.
more.
Or even what you can do, and it's like, I just want you to listen.
Exactly.
But also they're talking about their own solutions, right? It's like whatever their solution was, it's not, it won't necessarily apply to another person, which is really, really interesting. Yeah. There was this one beautiful metaphor for therapy though, which was, imagine therapy like a wardrobe. Yeah, you have a wardrobe, and let's say, for example, maybe you didn't fold everything properly, you just threw it in or whatever. And then therapy is more like, you might pull particular items out your wardrobe, fold it nicely, look at it again, have a look at it and just put it in nicely and just let it sit there in a nice way. Which is sometimes there's particular things that maybe you haven't addressed since we was young or whatever, and then it's been there all over the place, but it needs to be looked at and folded in a particular type of way and can just sit there. I can go on eBay market, just someone else can take it.
And I think that's essential as well, because like, it's so weird, because I was even talking to my audience on Instagram about this and about how I feel like I do need therapy. And the reason is because I feel like I need therapy in order to get better at doing what I do in my podcast. Because, you know, like the analogy that you just said now about folding the clothes, if my clothes are folded well, then maybe I can see within that person, okay, cool, this is how we're going to help you to fold your clothes. So in a sense, what I'm trying to say is, if I am aware of my traumas and everything that I've been through and I've addressed it, then therefore I can allow a safe space for my audience to then open up about theirs. Or else, because right now, my show, the Aridja Kals show, is all about ordinary people with extraordinary lives. And getting them to talk about everything that they've been through to getting them to the point of where they are at now in their lives. So emerging creators and entrepreneurs. But I find it so hard to have them open up and to allow them to open up and to go deep into the questions because it's like there's still bits about me that I haven't addressed. And it's so weird because one of my guests told me that, Aridja, the reason why you're not, because she was like, Aridja, you held back in this interview. You didn't ask me the questions I thought you were going to ask me. And then she said, Aridja, I was like, why? Why is that? Like, I got so annoyed at myself. And she said, no, it's because you haven't addressed what you've been through yet. You haven't addressed it properly. I thought I had in my podcast episode where I spoke about my story, but no, there's still, you know, bits that I need to go therapy for. So I feel like that's why therapy is important as well.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So self-help, you know, we also like read some self-help books like Atomic Habits. What do you think are there some misconceptions about self-help?
But can I just say something? Yeah, it's not to you, by the way. I hate that term. I hate the self-help term, but
Really?
I'll just on that one. I'll just sign out. But yeah,
Self-help, my perspective on it. I feel like
If there's misconceptions,
there
that's my
are.
question. Yeah.
There are misconceptions, like the little things like, you know, obviously I've said visualization, affirmation, scripting, but it's not just that. I feel like that's 90% of it, but I feel like there's also 10% that is inspired action that people normally don't tend to talk about. So things like that, there are misconceptions. Like if I sit here and just wish it and it will come true. But obviously, you know, you need to take inspired action. But the good thing about inspired action, I would say, it's not like, I feel like there's a difference between action and inspired action in a sense where action is going against the grain, possibly doing something you don't want in order to get the results and to force it. Whereas inspired action is going with your bliss and what you genuinely love doing or that you're genuinely effortlessly good at. And, you know, just going with that. And then in that, you'll attract people, circumstances, opportunities as well because you're doing what you love and it's in line with your bliss. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's inspired action. But yeah, my point is you can't just wish things true. You need to also take inspired action. And I think that's the misconception when it comes to self-help. Yeah.
also to the person who made the title, the label self-help, fuck you. Yeah. Because you know what it is? Because it's not really self-help, is it? It's like you're reading someone else's book.
True.
So technically it's not self-help. It's the same way if you had a conversation with another person. So reading a book, there's content in the book. If I speak to Costa, there's content in what Costa's saying. Both of them, there's nothing to do with self because I'm not really self-helping. I'm reading someone else's thing.
And I think even in life in general, is there even a such thing as self-help? Surely we need people, we all need each other, right? Like relationships and just helping each other to grow. Because like one, you can do something on your own, but you only get so far. You need someone to accompany you, a community, and then that's when the strength is, the power is, and the resilience and everything.
So when I start breaking it down, it's like, did someone help you get this job? Yes. Cool. You got a job. No, you got a job. Oh, cool. Okay, so someone helped you get a job. That means you're making money now. So someone helped you get the money. Cool. Now use the money to pay for that book. Yeah. Did someone help get that book from somewhere else? Like, did someone help with the deliveries? Probably yes. So it's like, at what point did it become self-help? And at what point where there was hundreds of people indirectly involved in me getting this book, and now I'm reading this book that people helped me get, and I'm helping myself reading someone else's content.
I don't know if that's I don't really know what the definition is, because it's like it might not be like that me helping myself, but it might be the help of self. Does that make sense? But they have to just put it in a 2-word sort of thing where it's like now you're reading it and you're using that kind of stuff to help yourself. But yeah, of course you're getting it from somebody else. But it's just like, it's not like a self machine, something where you put a coin and you get a drink or something.
Yeah.
They just had to title it something.
I know they titled it, but then, you know, maybe personal development would have been a better title.
Personal development.
Yeah, I think personal development would have been a better title. But
or self-mastery or something like that.
Yeah, something to do with that, because essentially, cool, we're doing self-work, but the content is not coming from ourselves. Something else is, it is, but at the same time, something else is igniting what's happening internally. So I don't see it as self-help. So yeah, fuck you anyway. Whoever that was, whoever created that title. No, I'm joking. I love you. You made me think about something. You prompted something today.
Yeah, but also I like to also, I'm just gonna shameless plug. I like to help people and teach people all about mindset as well. So I don't know. I just love a bit of mindset, personal development.
Yeah.
Like I've currently got like a 6-week program where I'm helping people up level their mindset,
Sick.
up level themselves, go from insecure to confident, and things of that nature. So
What
yeah.
what does the journey of that one look like?
How does it look like? So
Yeah, what
it's,
does the journey look like? Just without having like too much detail, but just what?
like diving into self-concept.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is key. However, whatever it is that you tell yourself about yourself is essentially how you think
Yeah.
about yourself and what you will sort of what you will attract and the circumstances that you'll be in, right? So I'll give an example. I don't know if you've read the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've listened to it. It's so robotic when the speech in it, because I listened to it as an audiobook, but it's mad. It's
mad,
so
yeah.
much.
So the whole notion of it is that Maxwell Maltz was a surgeon, right? I don't know if it was in the 50s or the 60s, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really know the date, but he was a surgeon that practiced plastic surgery on his clients, on his patients. And now there were some people that walked into the surgery room and they were very much optimistic with how the surgery went. They were really happy and elated. They loved their look and stuff like that. And then there were some people that walked out really depressed and unhappy and said that Maxwell Maltz didn't even do anything. And he concluded and said it's not necessarily the external surgery that he put upon them that was the issue. It was more so their self-concept when they first walked into that room in the first place. So it just shows that however it is that you think about yourself and the story that you're telling yourself about yourself is essentially the result that you're going to get, right? Whether you're going to feel happy or not, it's all down to you and how you view yourself in the first place, because nothing externally can really help you unless you change the story that you're telling yourself about yourself.
And there's also something around expectation on that one. But there's just in a psychology kind of bit, there's this one study that's been done around so basically what they're talking about, people spend money and everything else, they're talking about behavioral finances and how behavior or technically our mental well-being impacts how we buy things and all of these other different things. So they've done something really interesting. They opened up 2 stores. In both of the stores, they had identical items in there. And one store was called something else, the other store was called something else. But in one store, what they did, they put a discount from $9.99 to $5. And another store, they upped the price from $2.99 to $5. And basically, essentially, the items are the same. The price is the same. So if you go to any of the stores, you'll get the same item. The store that had a price going up didn't sell or barely sold anything, where the other store nearly sold out. So it just shows that how there is an element of who are we as individuals and how we perceive things and what we part in the world and how we've been also conditioned. I think condition is a really important word.
Definitely.
It's how everything has an impact, because if someone's I don't know, if I'm washing my hair and I'm using a conditioner, it's going to condition the hair in a particular type of way. And I think that the same thing happens with human beings, but we don't have to. And I think I'm in a point in life now where I'd like to identify as maybe as a free thinker, independent thinker. I question a lot of different things, and I'm not always on the same wavelength as people. People still follow particular things. I always ask the question of why things are structured in a certain way. For example, our time just went back by 1 hour. Why?
Was that today?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, literally after last midnight. It's why do we need to? Why do we need to do that? Well, what difference does that make? Does that I'm gonna look into it because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, was there's all these things.
Yeah.
That what's behind that?
Meaning.
Yeah.
But that's stuff that we've learned from young, because I think you get to a certain point, right? And as you said, these are things that you're being taught from young, and perceptions of yourself, negative perceptions, and there's so much focus on stuff that is not as relevant as yourself. So I think what I would ask you, because I think this is the kind of thing that you definitely have to learn from school. But why would they teach you that? Just you know what I mean? Not being negative here, but just I feel like I'm being realistic. How would you go if there was a course on knowledge of self for kids? How would you go about it? What would you teach?
What, me personally?
What would be the key teachings? Yeah.
The key teachings will be what I teach in my 6-week program anyway. So definitely vision, having a vision for yourself. Because I feel like, I'll give an example, right? That table or this chair, that sofa that you're sitting on, it started from within the mind of someone. It started from a thought. It started from a vision, and then it was created.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same as anything and everything in life, right? Everything is created from a thought first, from the vision of it. So if you can vision yourself being the highest version of yourself, then that's step one, right? And then, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say so. So what if a person had a vision about themselves and they went to plastic surgery, but the vision didn't come out as how they wanted it to because the practitioner wasn't able to bring the vision to light. Same thing that happens in companies that want to create something. Maybe someone was creating this bottle, and then the person didn't kind of make it according to the vision, and they fired that person because it wasn't the right person. I'm just asking.
I don't know. That's
I'm just asking for. I'm asking for a friend, then.
We can go in deep with this one and say maybe there was nothing wrong with that bottle. It was just the meaning and the perception of that person and how they looked at it that was wrong.
Because but the reason I'm saying this here because I'm going back to the point to the study you both spoke about earlier where clients were walking in and for some were unhappy. But at what point do we draw the line to say? At what point does the person take responsibility for who's also for who's also that part of the delivering the vision, right? So, for example, that practitioner or the plastic surgeon, at what point does he become responsible to delivering the vision of that person that he asked for? Because he's also got a part to play. So he can make up his own theory around they weren't happy because of this or they were happy. Well, what if he didn't deliver what he was meant to deliver, and the person had a vision and he didn't meet the vision. That's tricky. Because that's tricky because we're in a world where in a company they'll always have a vision. Every organization has a vision, and when people don't meet that vision, they don't deliver on that vision. They they get made redundant, that fired, whatever. They're not there.
That's tricky.
Yeah,
I don't have the knowledge for that
right now. I always
that is mind-boggling.
In terms of the guy, the surgeon, you can only work on what you've got. You know what I mean? It will never be how if a woman says, I want to look like Kim Kardashian, it's like there's already the image, but the person can only work on what they've got, and plus it's not going to be natural. So, and I think it's contentment that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think
how happy are you with yourself? You're probably not happy. That's why you've already gone to do that. Yeah. So you're already on a loss.
Yeah, big up all the BBO lot. No, I'm joking. That's a joke.
And also, in regards to me saying, because you asked me the question of, what would I teach children in a self-help sort of lesson? In regards
knowledge
to
of self,
knowledge
self-help
of
lesson.
Sorry, knowledge of self-help. When I say vision, I don't necessarily mean you'll become exactly that which you envision, but you will emulate it. Let's say you want abundance in terms of finances. You will, if you have the vision of it first, you'll do all you can to get there because it's in your mind first. You've got a goal, you've got a set goal and a set vision. You know where you're going. You're aware of what you want, and then you'll gradually get there. You'll do the things that you have to do to get there.
Yeah.
It might not look like exactly what you want. You might not reach the 1.7 whatever.
I'm smiling because I have an idea right now.
Huh?
I'm smiling because I've got a sick idea. I've got a vision. So I'm thinking, to start obviously, there's a lot, in Turkey, there's a lot of hair transplant companies and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking about taking one of them and just starting an airline and just calling it Turkish Hairlines. I think that'd be lit, So, but there's a partnership thing in it. So it's the moment you land, there's someone that comes and picks you up in a Lamborghini.
Oh, yeah.
Super special experience. Just no regular car, just speedy service. No, I'm just thinking that'd be lit.
Sounds lit.
Yeah, Turkish Hairlines. Check it out. It's coming soon.
So what's the first step in order to get there?
The first step?
Yeah.
I haven't got there yet. The first step.
You got the vision.
Yeah. Turkish Hairlines.
When I Turkish Hairlines, I would envision them just doing the surgery in the airplane.
Yeah. You know what? That'd be lit. You just fly around,
once you get there,
spin.
Like, oh my God.
I like the play on words though. The hairlines.
Yeah, Turkish Hairlines. Yeah. Because people already do it, there's you know what I'm saying, we can organize it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's called medical tourism.
Medical. What's that?
Yeah. That's when you go, for example, in Greece, you come for holidays and you combine it with dental or with
okay.
dialysis or something like that's called, yeah.
Oh, that's lit.
Oh.
It
I
already exists as a-
thought it
as a
just go
concept.
there just as a. Oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
Would
Oh,
you guys
did-
do any cosmetic surgery or plastic surgery?
If we've done.
If you would do,
Nah,
or if you've
well,
done.
I did think about just doing up my hairline, but then I thought, you know what, I don't really give a shit. So
Okay,
I
cool.
just remembered I don't really care. And I remember that actually, like people's perceptions of me, that's theirs, isn't it? Like they can hold on to that. So whatever
Would
makes
you
them
say you
happy.
don't care what people think about you?
Yeah, I think I got to that point. You know what? One of my, it's gonna sound like a small thing, but one of my biggest things that I've done. When was this? In June. Like it was like a test to myself. Basically, yeah. I must have had like this mad spot on my nose, innit? And I think the day after I had this like party I was meant to go to. It was like a big party, like seats and everything or whatever. So I was thinking, I can't really go there like this. So I went to is it Beach? I think I went to Superdrug. Yeah. Anyway, I went there. I was trying to find something basically for it, innit? So I found these like stars. Yeah, they got like some kind of like I don't know what they got inside, but basically put it on. It helps it heal, whatever. It's like a thing. It's mainly like not to put like gender stereotypes in it, but it's mainly for females basically. So anyway, so I bought it, and that same day, so the party's the next day, but that same day I had a meeting, yeah, and basically this thing I meant to keep it on there for like 6-8 hours or whatever. So it's like a star. So I put a star on my nose. And I'm going to this meeting. But basically, I'm meant to go to this meeting. I'm thinking, I can't really come out like this. I'm going to go on it. Like, I'm going to be on a train, going to the meeting like this. But then I thought, at first I was like, I don't really care what people think. When I was like, oh shit, actually, I do care. Because I'm a bit like, I'm
hesitant.
Yeah, hesitant. So I'm like, you know what? I said, fuck it, I'm going with the star. So I went with the star. And then I realized I actually don't really care. I'm getting closer to that not caring part even
That's
more.
good.
Yeah.
Like, there's
So if
much
you see
power
me with
in
something
not
on my
caring.
face, like it's just it is what it is. It's if you got a problem with that, that's a you problem, not me, not mine. So yeah,
I think it's like, I think it's slightly easier for guys.
No, let's not start that. Let's not start that conversation.
Easy to do what? To go for...
No, like it's easier for guys to be like, okay, I don't care what people
All right,
think.
you know
I've
what?
got
How
a
about this?
spot
How
on my
about this?
face.
How about this? It's not guys. It's not our problem that is easy. If it is easier for us, it's
Yeah.
not. We're not creators of that.
Okay,
easier
fair
for
enough,
us.
Fair enough.
Actually, maybe we did
What is
play.
society?
You know what? Maybe we did play a part. You know what? We might have. But personally, I don't. You know, like the whole like makeup thing and whatnot. I feel obviously anyone can do what they want, but I feel like that's been a big conditioning for women, and actually not necessarily to do with guys, but just like there's companies who make loads of money from that.
It's
So
all subconscious as well.
yeah. So realistically,
is a really like, it's almost like competition. Like I've told women you look beautiful without makeup, and they got offended.
Really?
Yes.
Is it
Damn.
that deep?
Yes. And
Damn.
I'm like,
Wow.
I don't know. I can't think of
Yeah.
like a better compliment. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, you can't win really. Can you?
yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm not even I'm not even gonna get into man versus women.
Have you
signed
had
up.
any or would you want to have any cosmetic or
I don't know
surgery?
yet, but I definitely. So I shaved
What, leg
my
extensions?
head.
No.
So
No, I'm
there's
joking.
knee
You know why? Because
surgery.
Aladdin looked at me.
There's-
Aladdin looked at me. That's why I was just like, he was trying to say. I was trying to speak for him, innit?
Yeah, there's the height surgery now, isn't there?
Like the wrist. Have you
there?
not seen it? That's
No?
why.
What,
yeah,
like the
the-
knee thing.
Yeah, the
It's
knee thing.
wild. Is it anything?
Oh.
I think it's down here. Like they just basically chop the legs off or something. Or now they break the bone. They insert some kind of like some pad like this is like a cylinder kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then whatever they heal it. I don't even know how it works exactly. But I saw a video of this guy. Basically, he had to spend another year just in rehabilitation, learning how to walk again.
That's
Is it
peak.
really worth it?
Well, I blame it on women, innit? They put we want a 6 foot guy. Like if he's not 6
The three
foot.
sixes, 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 figures.
Yeah, we want the 6. Yeah, and just what I'm saying. But you know what it is? I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even blame women for it. I think he's just an idiot. I think
It's society,
realistically, and that's the thing. I'm about people empowerment, just in general. It's like what you're talking about, mindset. I think people need to get to a place where none of this shit is affecting them. And we're not affected by societal standards because I'm so bored of it. Yes, I'm going to walk to the station with the actual plate in my hand. I'm going to eat my food walking there. Yes, I'm going to take a folding chair and I'll walk around the folding chair and put it down when I want to sit down. I don't care about that. I was actually doing all of this in the last 2 weeks. But
Really?
yeah.
So you walked to the station with a folding chair and a plate
No,
of
no,
food?
there were separate incidents.
Oh.
The plate of food, I was walking to the station because I had to go. So I was just eating the food while walking there. Actually, so you jumped on the train. Someone jumped off the LR. I don't know her. She's like, "Oh, you must have been hungry." I was like, "Yeah." So I went back to my workplace.
Did you do that to prove a point, or were you genuinely hungry?
No, I just don't care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I was genuinely hungry, but I was like, I can just walk and talk anyways with the plate. And then the other one was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. So I went to an event. We had to get people to vote and all of that stuff. It's a long story, but basically, I was tired. My legs were tired, so I just took a foldable chair from a corner that they put somewhere, and I was walking with it. They tried to take it off me at one point. I wasn't having it.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not giving it. Yeah, so every time I just fold it, walk to sit down. It was lit.
So just being devil's advocate here, but like if everybody becomes like so nonchalant and not caring, then you won't be able to sell products to people. If people start becoming so aware of themselves,
Products are
then
bullshit anyways.
they won't have. No, I'm just saying like there won't be like the society as you know it.
Yeah,
You
so
know what I
most
mean?
of the products are bullshit. We don't need most of them anyways. As long as they sell water and some food, that's all we need.
'Cause I think that's why they bank on it. You know, people like in marketing and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Your wants, not even your needs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That proves my point.
mm.
Just making money off people that are conditioned by
Yeah.
their own conditions.
It's true.
yeah.
I guess there's a law of polarity where there should be a level of, caring and not caring at the same time. Yeah, but more so not caring, I think.
But you can see by the advertising, right? Like for example, I don't know if the advertising, I don't know, the supplements for working out, they put like a fit guy on the thing because everyone wants to be like that. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's all this psychological stuff. Like I don't know if there's makeup, they put like a beautiful lady on there, just everyone wants to be like that or whatever.
Yeah.
No one's ever gonna put something like, I don't know, some fat unhealthy guy on a thing saying buy this product. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
Because bear in mind, psychologically, everyone's already trying to get that image of whatever's on there. So that's the marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna go, I'm gonna buy this thing because, yeah, whatever. But anyway, yeah, a lot of these companies are just full of shit. Sorry, I just
Fine.
But yeah, alright, cool. Is there anything else you want to say or share before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, obviously, I think you have a question at the end, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Shall I save it for that? Because I think,
If
I
you,
remember the question from last time.
yeah, we say you prep for that one.
I
So.
didn't prep, but I just
No,
thought
it's
I'm
cool.
a
Nah, we do
motivational
this. So
speaker.
there's two questions we got towards the end of it. But I'm saying before we start closing with
Okay.
those two questions, is there anything else?
Not really.
Nah.
I'm all good. Yeah,
I don't
said
know.
My piece.
I don't know if you know both of the questions, but or we
I
can
don't
split.
remember them. I've probably been asked before.
Yeah.
The pod was
Aladdin.
guest, but-
Aladdin, what you doing? You're busy. Come, man. Why you like this? You see the people I work with. They're unwilling. You see, his glass is half empty right now. Yeah, very
He
negative.
has no glass.
No positivity. All it takes is it's so not difficult. Just come and sit down for a second.
Explain how easy it is, and it doesn't justify why you can't do it.
I can do it.
Because
No, I can't. No. The thing is, I'm not asking you. This is the funny part. Yeah, I'm not actually asking him to do it because I can't do it. I can do it. Yeah, I'm asking him to do it because I want him to be more involved.
Oh, okay.
oh, so editing and fucking doing everything else is involved.
All right. Anyway, cool. So the last two parts, yeah. So there's two. So if there's anything you want to promote, but there's two different types of promotion. So the first one is something that might not necessarily belong to you, and it can be anything. It can be a book. It can be a YouTube video. It can be something powerful that you've learned. It can be anything. So something that doesn't belong to you. It might be your friend's business. And the second one is something that does belong to you, you know, like your show or anything like that you're doing the 6-week program. So anything you like to promote within those two spaces.
Ooh, what I'd like to promote that isn't about me. Do you know what? I don't know, because I got two. So one of it is
Promote both.
promote both. Okay,
Yeah.
one of it is definitely my cousin being my coach. Her name is at Miss Bree.
Life coach.
You could say that.
Fitness
Could say
coach or
that.
life coach?
No, life coach,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
more so. Because she's helped me a lot. Miss Bree, she's going to be really surprised I'm saying this, but I think she's just amazing because she literally gets you from A to B. She helps you to monetize what you do. She helps you to understand the why behind what you do and goal setting and just everything, just helping you in every way.
Lit.
So she's amazing. So at Miss Bree on Instagram. And I also want to promote Reverend Ike as well, who is a reverend, a pastor that passed away. But his teachings until this day, it affects me and it helps me to maintain a positive mood and an outlook and everything. So Reverend Ike's teachings on YouTube and his website as well. And yeah, those are the two that I'll promote that are not about me.
And anything you want to promote, that
About
belongs
me.
to you, yeah.
Definitely, I want to promote my podcast, The Aridja Kals Show, where I speak to ordinary people with extraordinary lives, emerging creatives and entrepreneurs. You can find that on Spotify and on YouTube. And I also want to promote, I've got a 6-week program that I do for people who want to go from insecure to confident, one post at a time on social media, because obviously I've been consistent now for a year, so I've got 1 or 2 things to say about that. What else do I do? Yeah, just check out my Instagram really at Aridja, at Simply Aridja. And yeah.
I've got a new punchline for your program.
What? Go on.
You're gonna have to pay me for that though.
It depends on how good it is.
Huh? It's really good.
Go on.
You have to pay me because
What
once
is
I
it?
say it, that's it. Okay, someone copyright this real quick. No, from insecure to I'm secure.
All right.
Yeah, you see that?
You heard that here first.
Oh, I love that.
From insecure to I'm secure.
Just changing the N. To
Yeah,
the N.
yeah. I know.
That's it.
Listen, I know people read the when they go like, oh, this is the program, and then they look at the punchline, they be
Yeah.
like, that's lit.
I'm
I probably just
secure.
do it just for.
love
I probably do it
that.
just for the punchline.
You know,
Like, how much?
literally.
How-
That's quite lit. I might have to think about that one.
Anyone else that needs any consultation on your programs or anything like that, say come talk to me. But yeah,
Yeah.
all right, cool. So the last question that we always close with, the most beautiful question in the world, is, something just in my head actually. No, that's sorry, it's just
Yeah, it's
no,
okay.
the question's coming, but I told you, yeah, I was just like, it's actually quite deep, because I was thinking about Palestine, but yeah, so what is, so I think, what's the population in the world right now, Aladdin? 7.9 billion people, yeah. That's what hit me because I was thinking about,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get a chance to say something to 7.9 billion people in the world, what would you tell them?
Love. I think love is all that matters, and love is the most important thing and the most powerful force there is. And I think it supersedes a lot of things like greed, hatred, power. But love, I think the community coming together in love, whatever that looks like. Obviously, we've got the situation that's happening at the moment with the Palestinian people, and it's like, just as a community, as we are all coming together in love, whether it's through social media or whether it's active causes, I think that's just beautiful, Obviously, there's other things happening in the Congo that a lot of people are not aware of, but, coming together in love to help and to support is mainly a true and important thing. And just also loving, your family and the people close to you, and also yourself. I feel like if you don't love yourself, how are you going to know how it is and what it's like to love others? So I feel like cultivating that love for thine own self is very significant and important. And how you can do that is by taking time to script and journal, write out how you're feeling, do what you love, spend time with yourself, go out for walks without your phone and things of that nature. And that way you'll be able to express it upon to others in a genuine, authentic way. So I think love, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, I'm truly grateful. So happy that we got to shoot again.
Yeah,
And more to come
that's
soon.
fine.
And yeah, thank you for being here as well.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man. It's a pleasure and nice to meet you, Aridja.
It's lovely to meet you, and thank you guys for having me. I've honestly enjoyed my time.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.